Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to another broadcast of WHEI News Center 10, live at 5.
Tonight's program is brought to you by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
News Center 10 Live at 5 is your #1 campus source for bringing you the latest news around the state, around Tiffin, and around the Burg.
Be sure to stay tuned in as well tonight for our social spotlight as we check the pulse of Burg students and find out what they're thinking about on the hottest topics.
Coming up, a hazy investigation at OSU.
And also, spring break is finally here.
In social,
Don't touch that remote.
WHEI News Center 10 Live at 5 starts now.
Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to WHEI News Center 10, live at 5 for Thursday, March 5th, 2015. I'm Allie Costantino.
And I'm Stacy Hartley. Let's get to our first story of the night.
In this day and age, we notice that we interact predominantly through technology, be it a tweet or even seen in an in-person lunch date with two friends texting more than actually talking. Cell phones and social media rule our day-to-day lives. However, a new social media craze is sweeping the nation. Can you guess what it is? Okay. It's not an app. It's actually quite the opposite. It's putting the phone down and staying off the web for a tech timeout. Students at Whitman Middle School have most recently tried their texting thumbs at text timeouts, and they find that they are very difficult, but also liberating activities. If middle schoolers can attempt it, I think we all can too. So put that cell phone down and stick with those weekend plans. You might surprise yourself.
Of all the horror stories you've heard and told about a time a substitute teacher was in charge of your class, they have not ended in 90 days of jail time. Unfortunately for former substitute teacher Sheila Kearns, and the Spanish class she taught at East High School in Columbus, this actually was the case. Kearns acquired the film Death for the class to watch. Apparently, Kearns expected a Goosebumps-type production. The class reportedly went crazy after making it only partially through the graphically sexual and violent movie. Kearns was convicted of revealing to juveniles and sentenced to 90 days in jail and probation. A sorority on the Ohio State University's campus is being investigated for an alleged hazing incident. According to Columbus's WBNS, the National Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority investigation into the allegations and has since offered that the incident involves members of its OSU chapter. The sorority currently has had all of its activities canceled until the investigation is complete.
Link is the name of Dayton's new bike share program, and residents can start signing up for annual memberships today for just $65 a year. It will offer 24 stations in and around downtown, which will be installed in mid-April. Executive Director of Bike Miami Valley, Laura Estandia, said, "We based the costs on other markets in the area and what we thought was a good fit for Dayton." The name Link captures the essence of what the program will mean for downtown Dayton, connecting destinations that are a long way to go on foot. That wraps up our local news segment for the day.
But don't go anywhere because we'll have your biggest campus stories on the other side of these short messages.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Getting out of the military, I was missing this camaraderie.
It's frustrating when you try and talk to people that don't understand.
I still had the anger, I still had the addictions, but we didn't talk about that.
Came to a point where it's like, okay, I really need to talk to somebody about this.
Family more or less encouraged me, go to the VA.
It's okay to go get help. It's okay to talk to people because it takes true strength to ask for help.
Hear veterans' real stories of strength and recovery at MakeTheConnection.net.
My name is Ocean Gray, and I just love.
At our house, we eat California raisins on our cereal for breakfast, out of hand for lunch, and as an after-school snack.
And good health starts with good nutrition. What better way than with all-natural California raisins? They're fat and cholesterol-free, low in sodium, with no added sugar.
Welcome back to News Center 10, live at 5.
Let's get started on our Heidelberg Campus News segment. What looks like a normal classroom now will soon be transformed into a media production lab. While students are away on spring break, Heidelberg University's media department will be working hard to get this classroom ready. Heidelberg Director of Media Communications says over the next couple of weeks, they'll be working on all the electrical and internet foundations to get the computer lab ready to come to life.
We're going to be running all the power, all the high-speed internet, and all the major infrastructure stuff we're going to need to get the computer lab up and running.
Students can look forward to new classes and lab opportunities offered in the upcoming fall semester.
Are you traveling somewhere warm for spring break this year? Trying to escape from the Ohio winter? If you are, there are a few things you may need to think about before you head off to sunshine and sandy beaches. Grace says to use sunscreen to protect yourself. Traveling with at least one other person is always a good idea. If you are taking a road trip, make sure your car is tuned up and you have your destination ready and your GPS. It is always a good idea to wear sunscreen, and if you are over 21, please drink responsibly.
Make sure to use protection. Sunscreen, that is.
We hope everyone has a great spring break, and if you're traveling, stay safe.
Remember, friends, one more day left until spring break. It's important you don't put your heads in the clouds just yet. Thinking about the upcoming 2-week break from school can cause your mind to take a diving board leap off of your studies, so refreshing some study tips to keep you focused will battle midterm woes and ensure that you have the most stress-free spring break yet.
Spring break at the Berg starts this Friday, March 6th, after classes are over. Spring break. So we'll see what a lot of students are going to do and to take advantage of that. Many students will be traveling off of Heidelberg's campus and out of Tiffin for the next 2 weeks. And we talked to several Berg students to see what their plans are over our break.
My name is Elizabeth. I'm a junior. I will be going to Biloxi, Mississippi for spring break on an alternative spring break trip with Heidelberg. While we're there, we will be working on a house. We don't really know what we do until we get there, but we could be doing drywall, or we could be painting, we could be fixing a roof. We don't know.
I'm going with my roommate to Florida to relax and see her grandparents for spring break.
I'm going to Panama City with a bunch of my friends from school to go beach and get some sun.
I'm Nino. I'm Richard. And we're going to over spring break. Woo!
Hopefully you are getting out of the bitter cold of Ohio and going somewhere warm, or maybe you'll take advantage of it and build a snowman. Whatever you do on break, we hope it is fun and relaxing, so you're ready to come back and finish out the semester strong. We'll see you in 2 weeks. For WHEI, this is Katie Cohart reporting on student spring break plans. And we want to thank Elizabeth, Jordan, Marissa, Nino, and Rich for bringing us in on yours.
So, Alley Cat, what are your spring break plans?
Well, I'm just going to go home for spring break, which
Yeah.
will be nice because I don't get to go home that often since I live far away. So
Exactly,
probably
in New
just-
York, right?
Yeah.
Pretty far. Pretty far
Yeah,
away.
what about yourself?
I will actually be going to Hocking Hills the second week, so, it's not very exotic, but, it's going to be relaxing. We'll be in cabins, so I'm really excited to de-stress for the spring break. So.
Good. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
That's all we have for Berg's Campus News today. We'll get into all of the latest news and stories from the social media world next.
News Center 10, live at 5. We'll be right back.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Hey, what's up? I'm Bella.
Yo, what up? This is Vinny Guadagnino.
I'm Nick Cannon. Hi, I'm Aziz Ansari. That was your line.
You can help by joining DoSomething.org.
DoSomething.org.
That's why I'm teaming up with DoSomething.org.
healthy diet and plenty of exercise are keys to success, both on and off the ice. Eat right will give them the fuel they need to be at their very best.
Growing bodies need lots of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and low-fat dairy to be healthy and strong. A registered dietitian can work with your family to help you create nutritious meals you will love.
And don't forget to exercise for at least 60 minutes every day. Visit kidseatright.org for more information.
Going to school pregnant, riding the bus, that was hard. You just have all the stares and you have all the questions. When you get pregnant, all the stuff just goes through your mind. Abortion, adoption, keeping him. When you're 15 and pregnant, you can't do it without support. I wanted to give him a better life. I'm Miranda and I chose adoption.
Welcome to our Social Spotlight segment. Neil Patrick Harris, during his turn as host, he doubts he'll ever do it again. Huffington Post quoted him, "I don't know that my family adept stage presence as well as his energetic start," but went on to say he monitored the public reaction obsessively. Regardless of any criticism people may have, Harris said he was happy to have gotten through the routine with the laughs he scored. That's all we have for our Social Spotlight segment, and I'll send it back over to Allie and Stacey at the news desk.
Thanks, Jeff. So what do you think about Neil Patrick Harris hosting the Oscars? Did you see him?
No, I miss it, but I figured that he would love it. He's so charismatic. That would just be like right in his wheelhouse, but apparently not.
Yeah, like I thought he did a good job, and he's done that plenty of times before. So I mean, the people usually like him, so maybe he'll change his mind.
Could have been a tough crowd this time. I think he's great either way. So you know.
It's time to throw it back over to Jeff to take a look at today's top sports stories.
Here with the Heidelberg baseball program, the expectations remain high entering 2015. The Student Princes returned a group of starters from last season's squad that went 31-13, earning an at-large berth in the NCAA tournament, their 6th appearance in the last 11 seasons. Leading the way for the returnees is reigning OSU Player of the Year, Derek Hugg. He batted an even .400 a year ago while driving in 48 runs. Also tying the world record with 7 triples on the year. Heidelberg opens their season in Florida with 11 games from March 8th to the 17th in the Snowbird Classic and Gene Q Stick Classic. The first OSC contest as we are coming upon spring break, we would like to remind you that you can see all the latest Berg sports updates on the Heidelberg website at athletics.heidelberg.edu. That's all we have for your Heidelberg Sports Report. Now let's send it back over to Allie and Stacey at the news desk.
Thanks, Jeff. So wow, I mean, I know that our sports teams, they try really hard, and I think it's awesome. I do feel kind of bad that a lot of them, are here and they're practicing and they're preparing, but I think, I think they're athletes, so I feel like you're an athlete, so I guess you totally understand, that need to like practice and go through all that. So,
yeah, and a lot of them are, traveling over spring break, so like they're going, like the wrestlers are going to Pennsylvania, and the tennis team is going to Hilton Head, so it's not, it's some funny games, not all.
I'm sure, yeah, definitely.
When we return, a woman uses Tinder for special services.
WHEI on TV 10. Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, these veterans faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they both reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the VA. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
In the heart of Heidelberg's campus lies the Fireside Cafe and Pub.
featuring a relaxing and engaging space welcome to the public. Fireside's menu includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, desserts, and even a soothing latte or coffee, offering a wide selection of exciting new and wholesome food options. Fireside Cafe Pub also serves a variety of refreshing drinks to accompany its cozy atmosphere. Come experience Fireside's new fall menu and visit us at Berg Dining Services.
As a first-time Olympian, it was a true honor for me to represent Team London. I'm also proud to represent another great team, the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America, who sponsors Swim for MS, a national fundraiser where you can create your own swim challenge. Anything from swimming laps for pledges to jumping cannonballs for cash. If you love swimming like I do, register today at swimforms.org.
Now it's time to get to our final story of the evening. A 27-year-old woman in Boston just wrote an article for Boston Magazine about how she's been using Tinder to find guys to shovel her car out of the snow.
The woman, Susan, came up with the idea almost a month ago. She reportedly started swiping right on male wholesome and changed her About Me section to read, quote, "Looking for someone to shovel out my car. Nothing complicated, no strings attached."
She got 3 offers in less than 15 minutes, and someone actually did come to her house to dig her car out of the snow, on Valentine's Day no less.
According to Susan, nothing physical or emotional took place, as she just talked with her helper as he shoveled and gave him coffee and a scone for the service. Since then, Susan has continued using Tinder to find men to shovel her car out, but is saving the dating for another time and place.
Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's definitely resourceful. I can respect that. Of all the things I would, think of, even just typical friendship out of Tinder would be kind of a surprise. But you know what? She's getting some, lawn removal, snow action going. That's fine. That's great.
That's a very good idea. I think more people should start doing that.
It's a free service. People need to start using it. I think it's smart.
For sure. Thank you for watching WHCI News Center 10 Live at 5. Our program tonight was produced and presented by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Thanks for joining us for tonight's program. This is our last broadcast for the next 2 weeks. Be sure to tune in on March 24th for our next.
I'm Allie Costantino.
And I'm Stacy Hartley.
And for Jeff and all of the WHCI production crew, we'll see you next time.